Drew Peterson, accused killer or superstar? Millions watch his story in a just-aired Lifetime movie. But is this fame giving him star status, or is it ruining his chance at getting a fair trial? Good evening. Jane Valez Mitchell coming to you from New York City Live. Tonight, new questions arrive in the case against Drew Peterson. His defense says this movie may prevent him from getting a fair trial. The movie aired on Lifetime, set record ratings. It was watched by almost 6 million Americans. So popular, it will re-air this weekend. Producers got A-list actor Rob Lowe to star as Drew Peterson himself. Take a look.
Stacey Peterson, the young Illinois mother, vanished last October.
Results of the autopsy came back with the cause of death being accidental drowning.
Her husband, Drew Peterson, is now considered a suspect. He needs to be arrested.
Anytime you're under a microscope, people only want to see the negative. They knew the facts about me. They would know that there's no way that I could be involved in any crime.
So will this movie taint the jury pool if 6 million people watched across the country and many more saw the clip online? Can the trial be moved anywhere to get an impartial jury? We have on the line with us right now Tom Peterson, the son of Drew Peterson. Tom, thank you for calling into our show. We very much appreciate talking to you. What was your reaction? Did you see the movie, and what was your reaction to it?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Did you see the movie, and what was your reaction to the movie?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, Lifetime overdid it this time around. But, I mean, it's like... it's something you're gonna expect with a typical Lifetime movie. I mean, you got a suave guy who comes in and he's all good and doing goodwill for everybody, and then by the end of the movie, you got horns coming out of his head, and it's like, yeah, yeah, with the movie, they really portrayed my dad as being more sinister than he actually is. Well, with all due respect, Tom, and obviously you're a son who loves your father, and that's certainly understandable, he is charged with the murder of one wife and suspected in the disappearance of another. They certainly did make him sound guilty in the movie, even though they didn't take it to a conclusion that we don't know what the conclusion is. He hasn't gone to trial yet. Do you feel, Tom, it has ruined your father's chances for getting a fair trial? Tom? I'm sorry. I'm having trouble hearing you. Can you...
Do you think this movie has ruined your father's chances of getting a fair trial?
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is
okay.
Bad audio or something going on.
All right, we'll work on that a little bit, but I'm going to bring in somebody else, Joel Brodsky, the attorney for Drew Peterson. Now, Joel, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I understand that you actually watched this film with Drew Peterson behind bars, which that's got to be a surreal experience. Let's take a look at another scene, Rob Lowe as Drew Peterson, and then we're going to analyze on the other side from Lifetime.
Welcome to Larry King Live here in Los Angeles. Drew Peterson, who is a suspect in the disappearance of his fourth wife, Stacey, and still a question mark over the death of his third wife. Why'd you come here, Drew?
I wanted to talk to you and maybe clear up some misconceptions in the public.
All right. Yeah, this was a huge rating buster. Joel Brodsky, the attorney for Drew Peterson, he's charged with killing wife number 3, Kathleen Savio, found dead in a bathtub, originally ruled accidental. Then after wife number 4 disappears, they reopen that case. And now they say that wife number 3 was murdered by Drew. That's what the prosecution says. And he hasn't been charged in the disappearance of wife number 4, Stacey Peterson. Do you think this is going to ruin your client's chance of getting a fair trial?
Well, I hope not. You know, once both Stacey Peterson's family and Kathy Savio's family have all come out and said the movie is so inaccurate it's laughable. So I think that, you know, we're all in agreement that this movie bears no resemblance to the reality of the situation. It's merely a Hollywood entertainment. It's not a docudrama or a documentary. And anybody that thinks a Lifetime movie is an accurate portrayal of the facts probably shouldn't be on a jury in the first place.
So
but it will present a problem.
You don't have a problem with
it? Well, I have a problem with them portraying my client as guilty before he's had his day in court, and we're going to obviously it's going to create difficulties in picking a jury. I hope it doesn't prevent us from picking a fair jury. It may, But I think if people, intelligent people that really look at this are going to understand that this is just Hollywood, it's entertainment, and everybody from the Savio family to the Stacey Peterson's family and Drew Peterson all agree that this movie bears no resemblance to the facts of what occurred in the life of Kathy Savio, Stacey Peterson, or Drew Peterson.
Yeah, I hear that they have, for example, a scene where one of the sons walks in on Drew having sex, and they've said that never happened. But let me ask you this. You're watching this film with Rob Lowe, a very handsome guy, portraying Drew Peterson, who's behind bars awaiting trial for murder, and you're sitting next to Drew Peterson. How surreal is that? What was Drew Peterson's reaction? I understand he was laughing. He thought it was hysterical?
Well, not hysterical in a funny way, but hysterical in just that it was so inaccurate. I mean, Drew uses humor. He laughs at things that are serious. He's always used humor in his life in order when he gets under stress or serious things happen. That's how he uses his humor, and he just was laughing at its inaccuracy, laughing at how foolish it was. That it was just all made up. They put people together that never saw each other. They created situations that never occurred. It was all just created out of whole cloth, as they say.
All right, we got some callers who want to ask some questions. Kathy, Pennsylvania, your question or thought, Kathy?
Well, I was wondering, how long after her sister died did they find her missing?
Well, let me back up a little bit. You have wife number 3, who dies in a bathtub, which the prosecution said was a dry bathtub. And some critics have said because Drew Peterson was a cop, they didn't really investigate it the way they should have. And then after wife number 4 disappears, they go back and they exhume wife number 3's body, and then they decide it was murder. They made a big mistake. Now, let me ask you this question, Joel. The Illinois Supreme Court has just said cameras can be allowed in the courtroom.
Yes.
Do you think that cameras should be allowed, because this is a real possibility right now, do you think cameras should be allowed into the upcoming trial of Drew Peterson? That certainly could be watched by millions. Do you think that's going to deprive your client of the chance for a fair trial? Or will he like the attention?
Absolutely. Well, I absolutely think that cameras should be allowed in the courtroom, because people are going to ask, well, how was he acquitted? Why wasn't Drew Peterson convicted? And they're going to see.
You're assuming that he's going to be acquitted. We don't know that.
I know he's going to be acquitted, because what they're going to see when the camera's in the courtroom is that there is absolutely no evidence Drew Peterson had any connection with Kathy Savio's death. They're going to see that world-renowned experts are going to say that she died in a household accident. When they see that on the camera, they're going to understand, the truth of the matter, and they're going to understand why the jury is going to acquit him.
Well, let me tell you, prosecutors want to use a whole bunch of hearsay statements, which basically normally are not allowed in court. But these are statements from the deceased woman, and they describe Peterson as aggressive and threatening. And in fact, there's been a law called Drew's Law that's been created so that normally inadmissible statements can be admitted if the person who made that statement has been wiped out. It's actually called Drew's Law. Do you think that's going to bite you, for lack of a better word, Joel?
Well, that's before the appellate court right now. We're waiting for their decision. But what I always find interesting is the trial judge in that case threw out the majority of the statements because he found them to be unreliable. So how can you allow unreliable statements in a trial to convict somebody of a murder? It's insane. These statements, not only are they hearsay, but they're unreliable hearsay. So, I really don't see that they have any place in an American courtroom, and I hope that the appellate court agrees with me on that.
Let me just say this. See that man you're looking at right there? If they allow cameras in the courtroom for the trial of Drew Peterson, he is going to become a household name and a household face. You already are, sort of, Joel, but you're going to become even more well-known. So maybe that's one reason why you want to have the cameras in the courtroom.
I hope not. I hope not.
I wish you well. It's great talking to you. Please come back soon, okay?